But on the morning of July 13th, Lucy suddenly felt compelled to go to the cova, and she went with Jacinta and Francisco. And when they arrived this time at the apparition site, they were stunned to see about 3,000 people. Our Lady returned, and Lucy said, "What does your grace want of me?" Our Lady said, "I want you to come here on the 13th of next month and continue praying the rosary every day in honor of Our Lady of the Rosary, in order to obtain peace for the world and the end of the war, because only she can help you." Now, Lucy asked the lady her name, and she requested that she work a miracle so that everyone would believe that Our Lady was appearing there. Our Lady said, "Continue to come here every month. In October, I will tell you who I am and what I want, and I will perform a miracle for all so that all will see and believe." Then the lady instructed the children, "Sacrifice yourself for sinners and say many times, especially when you make some sacrifice, 'O Jesus, it is for love of thee, for the conversion of sinners, and in reparation for the crimes committed against the Immaculate Heart of Mary.'" See, we see always emphasizing devotion to the Immaculate Heart. Now we come to the vision of hell, and Lucy says, as Our Lady spoke these words, she opened her hands once more, as she had done during the 2 previous months. The rays of light seemed to penetrate the earth, and we saw, as it were, a sea of fire. Plunged in this fire were demons and souls in human form, like transparent burning embers, all blackened in burnished bronze, floating about in the conflagration, now raised in the air by the flames that issued forth from within themselves. This is horrifying. Together with great clouds of smoke, now falling back on every side like sparks in a huge furnace, without weight or equilibrium, amid shrieks and groans of pain and despair which horrified us and made us tremble with fear. And Lucy says, "It must have been at this sight that caused me to cry out, as people say they heard me." She goes on, "The demons could be distinguished by their terrifying and repellent likeness to frightful and unknown animals, black and transparent like burning coals." And Lucy wrote in her 3rd memoir, she said, "The vision only lasted a moment, thanks to our good Mother in heaven, who in the first apparition had promised to take us to heaven. Were it not for that, I believe we would have died of fear and fright." And after the vision of hell, Our Lady said, "You have seen hell, where the souls of poor sinners go. To save them, God wishes to establish in the world devotion to my Immaculate Heart. If what I say to you is done, many souls will be saved and there will be peace. The war is going to end, but if people do not cease offending God, a worse one will break out during the reign of Pius XI. When you see a night illuminated by an unknown light, know that this is the great sign given you by God that he is about to punish the world for its crimes by means of war, famine, and persecution of the Church and of the Holy Father. To prevent this, I shall come to ask for the consecration of Russia to my Immaculate Heart and the communion of reparation for the first Saturdays. If my requests are heeded, Russia will be converted and there will be peace. If not, she will spread her errors throughout the world, causing wars and persecution of the Church. The good will be martyred. The Holy Father will have much to suffer. Various nations will be annihilated. In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. The Holy Father will consecrate Russia to me, and a certain period of peace will be granted to the world. In Portugal, the dogma of the faith will always be preserved, etc. And that is the beginning of the 3rd secret. And after revealing the secret, the lady concluded her instructions to the children. Do not tell this to anybody. Francisco, yes, you may tell them. You may tell him. When you say your rosary, say after each mystery, O my Jesus, forgive us from sin, save us from the fires of hell, lead all souls to heaven, especially those who are in most need. So that concludes the July 13th apparition.